In a shocking twist, Josh Duggar's health has taken a terrifying turn. Reports of a heart attack behind prison walls have left fans reeling, and Anna Duggar's emotional reaction has only fueled the storm. As the Duggar family remains eerily silent, or are they? We're digging into what really happened, how Anna is coping, and how this may finally fracture the family's long-standing denial. Josh Duggar, once the poster child of the ultra-conservative Duggar family, is currently serving a lengthy sentence in federal prison after being convicted on charges related to child sexual abuse material. His conviction marked one of the darkest chapters in the Duggar family's history, an explosive fall from grace that continues to haunt them publicly and privately. Now, in an even more dramatic turn of events, disturbing whispers have emerged from inside the prison walls. Josh Duggar may have suffered a heart attack. While no official confirmation has been released from prison authorities, multiple sources claim medical staff were called to his unit in a panic, and his condition quickly became a topic of hushed conversation among inmates and staff alike. Back home, Anna Duggar, the once devoted wife who stood by Josh through thick and thin, is reportedly struggling to cope with the emotional toll. Some insiders say she broke down upon hearing the news. Others claim she's questioning everything she's fought so hard to defend. Meanwhile, the rest of the Duggar family, typically tight-lipped when controversy strikes, has either gone radio silent or posted cryptic messages that fans believe are not-so-subtle signals about what's really going on. Is this the moment the family finally cracks under pressure? In this video, we're unpacking everything: the rumors surrounding Josh's health scare, Anna's emotional spiral, and the Duggar family's eerily coordinated silence. We'll also explore how this health crisis could forever change the dynamics within the family and their already damaged public image. Let's break it all down, from the whispers in the prison yard to Anna's tears at home. This is one video you don't want to miss. When news of Josh Duggar's alleged medical emergency first began to circulate, the initial wave of concern didn't just come from the public, but reportedly hit his wife, Anna Duggar, like a freight train. Multiple sources close to the Duggar circle claim Anna broke down in tears, sobbing uncontrollably after being informed about the incident. Some say she was inconsolable for hours, especially because the information came through whispers and unofficial reports before she received any kind of confirmation. The confusion and chaos of not knowing his condition only amplified her panic. Anna has stood by Josh through everything, from his past scandals to his conviction and imprisonment. Despite overwhelming public criticism, she's consistently portrayed herself as the devoted, unwavering wife. Her loyalty has shocked many, but insiders suggest that her devotion is tied to a deep-rooted belief in Josh's innocence and a fierce commitment to their shared faith. However, this, a possible heart attack or collapse, may have been the first time her armor visibly cracked. Since Josh's incarceration, Anna has lived a life of near isolation. Caring for their 7 children alone, she's avoided the spotlight, maintained minimal contact with some Duggar family members, and even relocated to be closer to Josh's prison. Every holiday, birthday, and life milestone has gone by with Josh behind bars. But she pushed forward, clinging to a sense of purpose and what she believed was a divine test of loyalty. Now, with Josh's health in question, that sense of purpose may be slipping. Sources claim Anna is emotionally spiraling, not just from fear for his life, but because this incident forced her to confront a terrifying truth: Josh may not survive to see freedom again. And if that's the case, what has all her sacrifice been for? There's been no official word on whether Anna was allowed to visit or speak to Josh directly following the medical emergency. Federal prisons have strict visitation policies, and medical events can lead to temporary suspension of visits. Some sources claim she was finally informed by prison officials after media outlets began to speculate. That delay reportedly made things worse, fueling her sense of helplessness and emotional collapse. Privately, Anna is said to be wrestling with some difficult, potentially life-altering questions. Has she been lied to? Has her unwavering belief blinded her to reality? And if Josh's health fails completely, how does she move forward with 7 children, limited resources, and a legacy of public shame? Many close to the situation believe this could be a turning point for Anna. Some family members, Those who've long wished she'd walk away are quietly hoping this health scare will serve as the wake-up call she desperately needs. But others aren't so sure. For someone like Anna, whose identity has been so deeply tied to standing by her husband, this could just as easily mark a deepened commitment, a signal in her mind that she must now care for Josh in sickness and in health, no matter what he's done. So, is this the beginning of Anna finally stepping away from the shadow of Josh Duggar? Or will this incident pull her even deeper into denial and devotion? The next few days may reveal more than just Josh's health status. They may show us who Anna really is when the illusion starts to crack. As news of Josh Duggar's alleged health crisis continues to ripple through headlines, fans have turned their attention to the rest of the Duggar family, waiting for signs of reaction, hoping for humanity, or at least honesty. But what they've gotten instead is a strange mix of eerie silence, subtle gestures, and a few bold voices stepping out of line. The question is, are the Duggars being silent out of sincerity or strategy? Let's start with Jim, Bob, and Michelle Duggar, the patriarch and matriarch of the family. Their silence in the face of Josh's reported medical emergency is deafening. In previous crises, especially legal ones, they've at least issued carefully worded statements asking for prayers or privacy. But this time, not a single public word. No Instagram posts. No statement to the press. Nothing. Is this a calculated move to distance themselves from a son who continues to drag their family name through the mud? Or is it a sign they've finally lost control of the narrative? Critics argue that Jim Bob's silence reeks of damage control, not compassion. With a brand so deeply tied to their public image, one rooted in faith, order, and family unity, acknowledging Josh's potential heart attack might invite further scrutiny. And let's face it, after years of covering for him, a sudden show of concern might appear hypocritical. On the other hand, staying silent allows them to pretend nothing has changed, business as usual in the Duggar world. Meanwhile, the siblings' social media activity has become a magnifying glass for fans. Some accounts have remained suspiciously dormant. Others have posted cheerful, unrelated updates, birthday wishes, back-to-school photos, Bible quotes, prompting fans to question whether they're ignoring the issue or trying to deflect from it. Take Jinger Vuolo, for example. Living in Los Angeles and having long distanced herself from the family's fundamentalist roots, she posted a quiet, reflective photo of a sunrise the day after news of Josh's incident broke. No caption. No mention of Josh. But was that sunrise a subtle nod to a new chapter, or just a sunrise? Fans can't stop speculating. Jill Dillard, who has openly spoken out against the family's control, has stayed off social media entirely since the rumors surfaced. Her silence, unlike Jim Bob's, seems less calculated and more personal. Jill has suffered immensely from being shunned for speaking out, and she has nothing to gain by publicly reacting to her brother's potential health scare. If anything, it might just reopen old wounds. Joanna Forsyth, who once shared a closer bond with Josh, is another question mark. Her recent posts have been upbeat and focused on her kids, but again, no mention of Josh. While some fans are disappointed, others understand that Joanna might be walking an emotional tightrope between love for her family and revulsion toward her brother's crimes. So, is this collective silence an indication that the siblings are protecting their peace, or protecting their brand? Publicly ignoring the situation allows them to remain palatable to their conservative fanbase, many of whom are exhausted by the Duggar scandals and want their wholesome image preserved. But then there's Amy Duggar King. Amy has never played by Duggar rules. She's long been the family's outspoken cousin, and this time is no different. While she hasn't outright confirmed Josh's health scare, her recent posts have been loaded with cryptic emotion. One Instagram story read, "Some storms come just to clear the path. You'll see soon." Another simply said, "No matter how long you lie, truth doesn't die." Fans immediately read these as jabs at the Duggar family silence and at Josh's long list of denials. Amy has made it clear she wants justice, truth, and accountability. And if that means taking a torch to the Duggar PR machine, she'll do it with a smile. In many ways, Amy has become the unofficial voice of conscience in the Duggar universe. While the rest of the family dances around carefully crafted silence, she speaks what many believe they all feel, but are too afraid to say. The contrast between her raw honesty and the rest of the family's performative neutrality is staggering. And it only fuels the theory that the Duggars are managing the situation with optics in mind, not genuine emotion. If they express concern, it could be seen as condoning or excusing Josh. If they condemn him, they risk exposing the cracks in their long-preached family unity. So, they've chosen the safest path. Say nothing at all. But fans aren't fooled. Online forums are flooded with comments like, "Their silence speaks volumes. If my sibling had a heart attack, I'd be devastated, not sharing a cupcake recipe." Even those who once supported the family are starting to see the truth. The Duggars may claim to value family, but when the chips are down, image wins every time. Whether this silence is staged or sincere, one thing is clear: the Duggar family's brand is more fragile than ever. And with every non-statement, every carefully curated Instagram post, and every refusal to acknowledge what's happening behind the scenes, they risk losing whatever trust the public had left. If the rumors of Josh Duggar's heart attack are confirmed, it could open a Pandora's box, not just for his family, but also for the federal prison system itself. Prison conditions at FCI Seagoville could come under intense scrutiny. While federal institutions are generally expected to maintain basic healthcare standards, past reports have painted a grim picture: understaffed medical units, long wait times for emergency care, and limited access to outside hospitals. A confirmed heart attack would raise serious questions about whether Josh's condition was handled appropriately and whether systemic failures may have contributed to, or worsened, his situation. Some experts believe Anna Duggar might attempt to leverage this medical emergency as grounds to request a compassionate release or at least a transfer to a different facility. Under federal law, compassionate release is rarely granted and typically only in cases of terminal illness, age-related decline, or severe disability. Josh doesn't currently meet the traditional criteria, and the court has already made it clear that his sentence should reflect the severity of his crimes. Still, a medical scare, especially one involving the heart, could serve as emotional leverage in public discourse, even if it has little legal weight in court. What's even more fascinating is the public's shifting tone. When news first broke of Josh's arrest, the dominant emotion was outrage. Rightfully so. But now, with reports of his health deteriorating and Anna possibly breaking down emotionally, some corners of the internet are showing pity. It's not sympathy for the man, but rather for the tragic spiral of events, the collapse of a once powerful, overly controlled family empire now facing the full weight of its hidden dysfunction. Reddit threads are debating whether justice has turned into cruelty. YouTube channels once quick to condemn are now treading cautiously, while Facebook comment sections are increasingly divided between "he deserves it" and "pray for the family." Anna, especially, has become a polarizing figure. On one hand, she's still seen by many as a woman clinging to a delusion, standing by a convicted man despite everything. On the other hand, her visible suffering, her silence, and now, her rumored tears have begun to humanize her again in the eyes of some fans. People are beginning to ask, hasn't she suffered enough? A question that complicates the narrative for both Duggar loyalists and critics. Then there's TLC and the broader Duggar media ecosystem. While Counting On is long gone and shiny Happy People ripped off the remaining veil, Josh's medical crisis could inadvertently revive attention in a way no PR team could plan or stop. Viewers are hungry for updates, and production companies know this. Could this lead to more docuseries? A Shiny Happy People Part 2? Or perhaps a spin-off focusing on the fallout within the family, Anna's life post-scandal, the children's upbringing in a fractured world, or how Michelle and Jim Bob are navigating their legacy. Even without official participation from the Duggars, there's plenty of material for future storytelling, and networks are watching. Every Reddit comment, every YouTube reaction video, every teary-eyed Instagram post is potential source material. The irony? Josh Duggar, once the brand's golden child, may now be the reason it lives on, not as a symbol of virtue, but as a cautionary tale broadcast in syndication. The Duggar family's carefully curated narrative, rooted in faith, redemption, and a heavily controlled public image, has weathered countless storms over the years. From scandals to lawsuits, the Duggars have consistently leaned into their belief system to justify, deflect, or explain the unimaginable. But this alleged medical emergency inside FCI Seagoville, paired with Anna Duggar's emotional unraveling, may mark the moment when even that long-standing framework begins to collapse under its own weight. For Anna, this isn't just a husband behind bars or a family scandal. This is the crumbling of her spiritual foundation. Since Josh's conviction, she's remained his most loyal defender, publicly maintaining his innocence, privately praying for redemption, and shouldering the massive responsibility of raising 7 children alone. Her unwavering support hasn't been rooted in ignorance, many argue, but rather in deeply ingrained religious teachings that prioritize forgiveness, submission, and faith in God's plan, even when that plan seems unbearable. But now, faced with the possibility of Josh suffering a heart attack behind prison walls, that faith is being tested like never before. According to whispers from insiders and former friends of the Duggar circle, Anna is more emotionally isolated than ever. Some have revealed that her communications with Josh are heavily restricted, monitored, and often inconsistent. Others suggest that the stress has taken a serious toll, both physically and emotionally, and that she's beginning to show signs of quiet desperation. Privately, Anna's world may be shrinking. Publicly, she remains silent, which only fuels speculation. Could this health scare finally push her to reassess everything she's believed and built her life upon? There are 2 paths here, and both are heartbreaking. One possibility is that Anna doubles down, viewing Josh's health crisis as yet another test from God, reinforcing her need to be a dutiful wife and prayer warrior. We've seen this behavior before, not just from Anna, but from many women in high-control religious environments. The idea of suffering with grace is often glorified, and in Anna's world, walking away might not just feel like betrayal, it could feel like eternal failure. But the other possibility, the one many fans and former family allies are quietly hoping for, is that this is her breaking point. That the stark reality of Josh's deteriorating health, combined with years of pressure, loneliness, and emotional suppression, will finally lead her to step away, not just for her own sake, but for her children. There is growing concern about the long-term impact on the kids, especially the older ones, who are likely aware of the scandals surrounding their father. Could Anna be starting to see the cracks in the Duggar doctrine that have kept her bound for so long? Former family friends have reportedly said Anna has no one left outside of a few loyal Duggar supporters. Some claim she rarely leaves the house, homeschooling the children herself and relying entirely on help from Josh's mother, Michelle. Meanwhile, siblings like Jill, Jinger, and even Joanna, who have publicly acknowledged Josh's crimes or distanced themselves from the family, remain silent on Anna's behalf. Whether out of respect or disinterest, it's clear she's not part of their active support system. If Anna were to walk away, the fallout would be massive, not just personally, but within the Duggar brand. Jim, Bob, and Michelle have long leaned on the image of Anna as the perfect, godly wife, submissive, forgiving, and loyal no matter what. If she broke rank, it wouldn't just shake their public narrative, it could dismantle it entirely. And for a family that thrives on control and perception, that would be a catastrophic loss. So where does this leave the Duggars? Could this health scare finally splinter the family beyond repair? It's already happening, some say. The silence from key family members, the visible fractures between siblings, and the mounting pressure of holding together a lie no longer believed by the public. These signs are not subtle. The Duggars are no longer a unified front. They're a family in slow, painful disintegration, and this crisis with Josh may just be the last straw. As Anna Duggar faces what may be her most devastating chapter yet, we're left with haunting questions. Is she still holding on to hope? Or is she, for the first time, beginning to let go? As we close out this deep dive, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've just uncovered. Josh Duggar, once the golden son of a reality TV dynasty, now finds himself at the center of yet another storm. The alleged heart attack behind prison walls may be the most sobering event yet in a saga filled with scandal, denial, and emotional wreckage. Anna Duggar's rumored breakdown, the whispers of uncontrollable tears, and her increasing isolation, these are not just dramatic footnotes. They may be signals that something deeper is unraveling. This woman has stood by her husband through some of the most horrific revelations imaginable, but now, even she may be nearing her breaking point. Meanwhile, the rest of the Duggar family remains strangely quiet. No public statements. No clear support. No signs of unity. Is it fear of more backlash? Damage control? Or just the usual Duggar tactic of staying silent and hoping it all blows over? But here's the real question. Is this the wake-up call the Duggar family desperately needs, or just another symptom of their long-standing pattern of sweeping tragedy under the rug? Will Anna finally make a bold move toward healing and independence, or will she double down on loyalty and keep walking a path of quiet suffering? Whatever the case, this incident isn't just about one man's health crisis. It's about a family and a belief system under pressure. About a legacy that's becoming harder to protect with each passing scandal. And about fans, critics, and former insiders still waiting for the truth, and maybe even justice. With that said, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time.